So the administration has recklessly and unilaterally spent taxpayers' money. We've run away inflation. But instead of taking a real inventory of funds they had at their disposal, they said, hey, we need more money.
We spent $1.9 billion. Where's that money going?
The federal government gives a company $2.5 billion, and short time later, the head of the company gets a $900 million golden parachute. That is not a concern to you?
When is somebody going to share with the American people the destination we're trying to get to?
Administration to provide information to us that was patently false. You shouldn't be able to say, hey, we're looking at trade-offs. We're not going to tell you about them. Just give us some more money. My time is up. I just say we agreed on one word, and that is unacceptable.
What's up, you guys? It's Steve here, and happy Saturday. And you're not going to believe some of the video footage that I have got for you today, as Republicans and Democrats alike are vocalizing their disapproval for the handling of the federal funds to help provide more stimulus and battle the pandemic. I've got headlines and video footage you are not going to want to miss. This is your breaking news stimulus check update and stimulus package update. Now, if you missed my video yesterday evening, you are not going to want to miss it, as we heard from Republican Congressman Jason Smith, who talked about stimulus checks and all of the federal funds and all of the misuse that the money went out to, and he said there's still nearly $1 trillion of leftover funds just sitting there, and that could provide 2 stimulus checks to go out to the American people. Well, you guys, we're hearing that not only him, but also Democratic Senator Bernie Sanders and Republican Senator Mitt Romney are furious about what has been unfolding. This is all just starting to surface. Take a look at the headlines coming out, linked in the description below. Senator Mitt Romney accuses the White House of patently false information about pandemic funds. Here's another one. U.S. pandemic test makers anticipate layoffs after the government reallocates funds, repurposing and shifting existing funds that they have for stimulus. Congressional pandemic funding deals appear dead after GOP criticism. Take a look at this. Republican senators accuse the White House of false information. Now, Biden officials, they respond and say the GOP is just finding new objections to not pass more pandemic funding. Now, take a look at this article very quickly before we dive into this video footage. It says Senator Mitt Romney on Thursday, in a striking monologue during a congressional hearing, Romney expressed anger that he spent months negotiating with colleagues to craft a $10 billion funding package when the Biden administration earlier this month then announced that it had repurposed existing funds to pay for the $10 billion in vaccine and therapeutic purchases in the absence of congressional action. Senator Mitt Romney was saying, man, I spent all this time reaching across the aisle to Democrats and Republicans, convincing them that we needed to spend more money. Even in this inflationary environment, I was told that it was needed. And then when it falls apart, the White House comes out and says, oh, it's okay. We've got a ton of money sitting here. We'll just take a little bit of it and use it for this purpose of vaccines and therapeutics. And Mitt Romney is furious, and they're saying, what is going on? Why are we mishandling the funds? Where is the money going? Why is there money just sitting there? And why is it not going out for its intended purpose to help out the American people? Well, you guys, let me know your thoughts. But if you don't believe it, take a look at this. Just earlier this year, and we've heard confirmation it's still the case, unspent funds color the debate over additional pandemic relief, jumping down of the $5.7 trillion of fiscal support that Congress had provided since early 2020 throughout the course of this pandemic. About $800 billion remains unspent and uncommitted, just sitting there. And as I mentioned, the third stimulus check of $1,400, that was $400 billion of spending. So with $800 billion, we could do 2 checks, a fourth and a fifth of $1,400, a total of $2,800 to go out to everybody that previously had received stimulus checks. Wow. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But you guys, let's take a look at the video footage so you can hear from Senator Mitt Romney and his disapproval and just outright calling the Biden administration lying about everything going on. Let's take a look. But before we dive in, if you could do me a quick favor, smash the like button if you appreciate the updates. If you want to stay up to date, it's totally free. Why not? Come join the Ram fam. I'll keep you up to speed on everything going on, and we're hearing things are going to be ramping up as we get closer to midterm elections. All you got to do is smash that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell. Any specific questions for me, shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3. As I mentioned, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I'd love to hear it. And also, consider joining my second channel, Steve Ram Finance, to learn about growing wealth and personal finance. And we have got a comprehensive list of all checks on all levels, states, counties, and cities, literally hundreds of them that people don't know about. We're going to be releasing it here very soon, working away, cranking away to make sure that you don't miss out on anything, because we're hearing they're only available for a limited amount of time, and sometimes you have to apply, and people don't even know they exist. I'm going to make sure that you know about everything going on. But with that being said, you guys, let's dive into the video footage and take a look at Senator Mitt Romney and what he had to say about the mishandling of these funds.
I do have an issue that is tangentially related to what you do, but related to the administration in which you're part of, and that is that back in March, I and a number of other members of this committee sent a letter to the administration asking for an accounting of how the prior COVID relief money had been spent, and then also how new money that was being requested for emergency supplemental would be spent. And as part of that response to that letter, the administration released a statement regarding the lack of potential funding for going forward. And I want to read a couple of excerpts from that letter. One is, quote, "The federal government is unable to purchase additional life-saving monoclonal antibody treatments and will run out of supply to send to states as soon as late May. The federal government cannot purchase sufficient quantities of treatments for immunocompromised individuals, and the federal government will be unable to sustain the testing capacity we built over the last 14 months. And then continuing, ending the purchase of monoclonal antibody treatments, scaling back state and territorial allocations, inability to purchase additional oral antiviral pills, inability to purchase new antivirals, scaling back planned purchases of preventative treatments." Again, what the administration provided to us in Congress in response to our letter was that the administration would be unable to purchase therapeutics and monoclonal antibodies, unable to purchase. Madam Chair, I'd ask unanimous consent that this release from the administration be entered into the record.
Without objection. So
Now, in good faith, I and a number of other people worked over a number of months with members of this party and across the aisle to develop a supplemental bill providing the $10 billion to address this inability to purchase these things without the $10 billion. But you can imagine my surprise when I find out that on June 8th, the federal government did in fact prioritize $5 billion for the purchase of additional vaccines, $4.9 billion for therapeutics, and $300 million for additional monoclonal antibodies. But it chose not to do so in February, March, April, or May, again saying they had inability to do so. So the administration has recklessly and unilaterally spent taxpayers' money. We've run away inflation, but instead of taking a real inventory of funds they had at their disposal, they said, hey, we need more money. Now, Washington operates on a relationship of trust between the respective parties, the administration and Congress. For the administration to provide information to us that was patently false is something which dramatically attacks that trust, which I have, members of my party have, members of both parties have. And I hope that there's an appreciation that for the administration to say they could not purchase these things and then after several months divert some funds and then purchase them is unacceptable and makes our ability to work together and have confidence in what we're being told very much shaken to the core. I would ask this question. If the administration knew in March that it was feasible to buy these things, do you know why they waited to actually do so? Any one of you can respond. Dr. Fauci, you're on the hot seat on the camera, so we'll give it to you. I hope you feel better, by the way.
Yeah, thank you very much, Senator. I think that question is probably best given to Assistant Secretary Dawn O'Connell.
Thank you, Dr. Fauci. Thank you, Senator Romney, and thank you for your support in trying to get additional funds freed for us to manage the COVID response.
Yeah, I didn't realize that they weren't needed. I wouldn't have worked as hard with Leader Schumer and with others over many weeks and intensive negotiations and gone to my colleagues and told them these monies were necessary had I been told that, in fact, they weren't necessary. And I know money is all. You're going to tell me that, hey, we needed to spend money on other things, we had to divert it, but that we could have been told. But we weren't told that. We were told we could not purchase therapeutics or monoclonal antibodies, and now you have.
And we had to do so with significant trade-offs that none of us wanted to make.
But we should have been. We're part of Congress. When you're asking us for $10 billion, we should be apprised of what those trade-offs are, and have that discussion and help make that decision together. You shouldn't be able to say, "Hey, we're looking at trade-offs. We're not going to tell you about them. Just give us some more money." Isn't that not unacceptable in a relationship between an administration and Congress?
We've worked hard to be transparent with our funding needs, and again, I've appreciated the support you've given us in trying to unlock additional funds. Making the decision to spend this money, taking it away from critical programs is absolutely difficult, and it's something we didn't think was acceptable. We're now at a point, because Congress has not given us additional funding, that we've had to do these things that are unacceptable.
Well, my time is up. I just say we agreed on one word, and that is unacceptable. Thank you. Madam Chair?
Wow. So there you have it, you guys. And again, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Now, overall, I think, and let me know your thoughts, it's just very sad that there are so many people that are hurting, that have been promised they're going to be getting checks and funding and all of this assistance, and it's just sitting there, or it's been misused for other things. And now even members of Congress are vocalizing what is going on and what is the plan of the Biden administration and the White House to help out these people that are hurting, and not pointing fingers or the blame game anymore, but just how do we get assistance to help out those who need it. Let me know your thoughts, you guys, but I'm going to do my best to make sure that I can help you out with information and provide it to you, so that way you can get it in a timely manner and know how to respond to everything going on, so you are in the mix and you're not caught off guard. But with that being said, you guys, as always, thank you so much for joining me, even on a Saturday. Hope that you and the family have a blessed day. If you made it this far and you haven't already and you appreciate the updates, don't forget, smash the like button for me. Come stay up to date. It's totally free. All you got to do is hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and come join the Ram fam. Any specific questions, shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3, and consider joining my second channel, Steve Ram Finance, to learn about growing wealth and personal finance. And with that being said, you guys, once again, thank you so much for joining me. I'll catch you in the next one. Have a blessed Saturday. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.